Hey ladies, welcome to the 12 days of Christmas. So for the next 12 days leading up to Christmas, we're going to give you a gift today, which is something to think about, some little tool, some little hack that you can use to start getting out of crazy busy and get into joyful success, which is something we teach, as you know. So every day we're going to get on and there's fun little graphics that'll kind of reveal what we're going to talk about and the gift we're giving you each day. I wanted to do this because I'm taking the last 2 weeks of the year off. I wanted to leave you with a gift to thank you for, gosh, just being part of this community, just being curious and faithful to your own mental health and to the dreams you don't even know you have. So today's word, the most important word we start day one with, is joy. Now, we call our program like how to stand in your power and find joyful success, because the word joy is really hard to access for a lot of crazy busy women. Certainly was my journey. I had a really hard time feeling light and joyful. I had to really kind of get out of my own way to be that funny, joyful, silly girl that I used to be before life pressure weighed me down. And I see it every day. It breaks my heart with all the women that we work with, because it's something we all struggle with. The pressure of our lives, everything we've got going on. A lot, there's a lot of research right now that calls it the third shift. We've got work and then we've got home, and that's a second job. And the third job is the extra stuff we do to help the world that women take on, both at work and outside in the world. We're exhausted. And the last 2 years and all of the circumstances has not helped. Where coping mechanisms have been stretched thin. A stamina is at its weakest, right? And so it's so important to remember joy is inside you, and it's your responsibility to choose happiness. Happiness, why we're here on this earth, people, is to be happy, to live our lives in a purposeful, happy way. And so often happiness is a choice. It's not conditional. I hate to say that. And even the worst times in my life, I've been able to access happy by being conscious and intentional about it. I don't know about you, but in some of your worst times where friends come in and just made you laugh when you didn't even think laughter was a possibility to access in your soul, and you found it through a friend accessing that part of you, it's always there. And so often we live in this conditional joy. When work day is done, we can have some fun. Once this project is over, I'm gonna, be joyful. I know in my life, I still work on it every day, where my daughter comes in and interrupts me and I'm like, just let me get this done and then I can talk to you. And she has something really funny to say and I push off joy, which I now try. I really get conscious because I just want to get stuff done, because as a working mom, we're incredibly efficient. And I just want to get work done. And so I'm like, can you just wait? And I realize that I'm pushing joy away. And so what I learned to do is just like put my screen on sleep, or turn around my phone and like, what do you got for me? And we'll giggle. And then I'm like, okay, now I need to go back to work. And it's a little commercial break. So what I'm saying to you is joy is here all the time. It's not here. This is a joy killer. Thinking. So much of the crazy busy woman life is survival mode, and survival mode leaves very little room for joy. We're friggin' exhausted, and we go to bed at night trying to remember how much fun we used to be, and we can't even access it because we're too exhausted. So I'm going to give you some hacks. Are you ready? I want you this holiday season to be silly, to find silly things. And the best treasure trove to find silly is your childhood, right? So what in your childhood did you love in this time of year? Was there an old school game, shoot some ladders, or I don't know what it is, whatever it is? Was there an old school game that you just have so many wonderful, happy memories in your life about? Is there hopscotch? Go get some chalk and draw some scotch. Get some scotch too. Go get some chalk and draw hopscotch on your front porch or wherever, your driveway, your backyard. If there's no snow, build a snowman, have a snowball fight. Do something silly, make time for it. I know that sounds crazy. You're never going to schedule in joy. So we've got to start being intentional to do that, honestly. And once it becomes a habit, you're able to remember that part of yourself and you feel lighter, because so many women feel heavy. The pressure of all getting it all done, trying to be perfect, all that stuff is exhausting. So what I'd like you to do is think about things. So I want to tell you this story about, I was having a really tough day and I was trying to force some writing that I really needed to do. And I was starting to feel guilty because I wasn't getting it done. I didn't know why I couldn't focus, and it was late and I'm never late and blah, blah, blah. And I was forcing it. And I've learned in my life that that's never going to work. So I literally got up and I had to change my state. So I was like jumping around. I put on some music, and then I just decided to skip from my office to my kitchen. And I looked ridiculous and it made me laugh. And it just immediately changed my state. And I got into this place of silliness. And guess what happened after I got myself another cup of coffee? I went back into my office and I was like, let's do this. And it all came out of me because I was in this, when we're in survival mode, we're in this struggle. See my light up ring? It's about being silly. I'm going to show you that in a second. We're in this struggle and we're tight. And when we're joyful and when we're lighter, we're in this collaboration, lightness mode where everything is possible. This feels like very little is possible. It's scarcity and struggle. And so I want you even to just open your arms up and just accept the joy. It's silly. Do something silly. Be ridiculous. Be ridiculous, whatever it is. You know, there is a lot of laughter therapy out there that if you literally hold your stomach and force yourself to laugh and be like, ha, 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 and keep on going, ultimately real laughter will come. So I want you to use these hacks and you're like, Marie, whatever, I don't want to do this. I have so much going on. No, try it. Try one thing today or two things today to just be silly. Go to CVS. Here, I have a party every year because our community does Christmas fireworks. And every year I buy these ridiculous light up necklaces or whatever. I don't know if you can see that it's lit up. And we get lightsabers and we walk down to the beach and watch the Christmas fireworks. And I have light up rings. And it's so funny because ultimately I've had this party for years when my daughter was really young and we did it for the kids, right? And so I just continue to do it as they grow up. All the adults love it, if not more than the kids, because we get to be silly. And they're like, can I take it home? And it's so cute. And so what I want you to do is go to Walgreens, CVS, Target, Walmart, wherever, and buy something ridiculous, a headband, some of those dancing toys that make the silly sounds, a ridiculous light up obnoxious necklace, something ridiculous, and get it for yourself and look at it. And remember, it's like your little calling of being silly. This light up ring is fabulous, right? It's so cute. You know how much I love jewelry. So be ridiculous, be silly, find that part of yourself, give yourself that gift. I mean, we're on this planet to be happy. And sometimes we have to choose it in spite of everything that's happening. And when we choose joy and we choose happiness, then we can access it easier because it becomes this muscle memory. Do crafts. There's so much research about doing something creative brings out joy and lightness for people that are depressed. They have them do creative draw and stuff because it accesses a different part of their brain. So what can you do to change your state of being to get out of the crushing pressure you're under or the self-doubt or the self-criticism that you're under, and just be joyful because that girl's inside of you, that funny, spontaneous, silly, ridiculously goofy girl is still inside of you. And you have let life pressures get in the way of who you are. And so sit on the floor and play with your pets. Look a child in the eye and have a silly conversation. Ask them ridiculous questions and see what they say. Call somebody who just is joy personified for you and just makes you laugh. And, I have a girlfriend that's like, when we have stuff going on in our lives, we just grunt at each other. She calls me and she's like, and I'm like, and then we just start giggling. Like there are people in your life that can help you pull yourself out of your state of in your head, because, joy is an amazing reason to live. It's an amazing reason to be on this planet. And it requires you a choice. It just requires a choice because especially with everything that's going on in this world, You could look at all of that and feel joyless. You really could. There's a lot of reasons to be very depressed right now, a lot of valid reasons. I choose joy, I choose hope, and I choose joy. And you have to make that choice too. So much of our program is awareness, intention, and action, right? And so we want to be aware of when we're blocking joy in our life and when we're putting ridiculous pressure on ourselves and in our head. We want to make an intention to be joyful and light and find that girl inside of us again. Then we need to be in action. So we need hacks. If you're feeling like this crushing pressure, stand up, dance around, put on a playlist. I recommend on Pandora the funk radio playlist. I guarantee you listen to that for 4 songs and you are just going to start moving and feel happy and dance and be ridiculous. Okay. So seek joy, choose joy, claim joy, whatever it takes, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it for yourself. It's the best gift you can give yourself this Christmas. Okay. Or this holiday season for all those that don't celebrate Christmas. Tomorrow, we've got another gift for you. So watch that video and really tune in every day because there's some really good nuggets here we've worked hard to create. And we want to give you these gifts for the holiday season. So thanks, guys. See you later. Happy holidays.